ladies and gentlemen.
And it always takes a minute for the link to come through.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting.
It says live on mine. It says live. You're on YouTube.
Where's my link?
There
There it is.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? You know, we got to do what we normally do. We sending out these links to everybody.
I'm not sitting.
Yeah, just sit back, relax, get ready for an awesome show. You know, we got special guests, Mr. Leonard Blake Lee in the building. You know, give it up. We're gonna get more, talk more about him soon. But like we always do, we gotta send out these links to everybody. So just give us a quick second. Yeah, hold on, everybody.
One second. Leonard, they always tease me and say that I'm on Tinder and that I'm swiping right and left. But they seem to know a lot about Tinder to tell me which way to swipe.
There goes the link. Put that up there. Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't, you know, that's Miss Knowledge's thing. I don't get that. I don't know what's going on. Oh, we got the usual suspects coming in the building. Shout out to all the usual suspects. As you see, we have a special guest in the building. That's Mr. Leonard Blake Lee. He's gonna be talking about some things that he does in the community, entrepreneur, extracurricular activities or hobbies. So that's who that is. Unfortunately, the host with the most couldn't make it tonight. But you know, we'll get more about that once we get the show going. We just gotta send out these links.
Yeah, sorry.
All that stuff.
Always slow. Sorry.
And again, big shout out to all the usual suspects.
Hi, Keiko. Keiko's in. Yay. One second. I think I have everyone.
I'm gonna just have to put it out there. I'm gonna have to make that announcement. I'm gonna have to make a surprise announcement.
This is how I am every time. Every time I'm like an old lady going to my phone.
They should, y'all know.
What am I missing?
She's sending out links, letting everybody know. Come watch this awesome show.
It's like Twitter, your Facebook, your personal people. I'm all over the place. One more, and I'm ready. Hold on.
All right, I'm sending out one more too.
And I think.
All right, I think I have one more. One more. Hopefully I don't get, what's today? Oh, I don't think I can post. It's Thursday. Yes. I can't post. So I think I have one more. That down. How you guys doing? You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Well, good.
Finally done.
All righty. Just minimize that. All right. Okay. Let me just. So, the guest is good. It'll just be me and you. We didn't go over the intro. So we're about to get into it. You ready?
Oh, sorry.
Oh man. Y'all seen that?
I forget.
The camera did not freeze, y'all. I just want to put that out there. The camera did not freeze.
Leonard, this is where you see how stiff I really am.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, you ready though? You ready to give it to him?
Yeah, let's go.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Countdown. 1, 2, 3. Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? If this is your first time tuning in, we are a local online news show called What's Up People News. We talk about local, national, and international news. I am your co-host, Frosty McNuggets.
And I am Frosty Knowledge, aka Rosa Sparks. Cool.
Yeah. As you can see, Frosty Oreos is not here. He did have some things that he had to attend to today. But he should be and should be with us next week when we go. But always a big shout out to him. We definitely gonna hold it down for Frosty Oreos tonight. We do have a special guest though, Mr. Leonard Blake Lee. We'll be talking with him about what he does and his businesses and certain things that he has going on a little bit later in the show. So we're gonna do what we normally do, give y'all quick little updates. So Miss Knowledge, how you been doing this week? How things been going?
Hot. My daughter got a learner's permit though.
Oh.
Yeah, she passed first time.
Wow.
Nice.
Which good for her. She didn't even tell anyone, because you know how you have to you go and give your paperwork at the registry, and then they give you like the login information, and you actually have to take it at home now. So she didn't even tell anyone she did it. So she just came down and she's like, I passed. I'm like, oh yeah, of course you did. My son, it took him like 4 times. And this is when you could go to the registry, and I went to the registry with him, and I'm waiting out. He goes in, he comes out, he's like, I failed. Can I take it again? I'm like, okay, you got to pay for it. He goes back in line, he pays for it. He goes back, has the wait, goes back in, fails again. Like, it was just like,
dang.
Dude, I mean, you got to give it to him. He kept trying until I was like, yo, I'm not waiting here anymore. Let's go home. You do this on your own time. Like, maybe try studying. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that would help.
That would. So how are you? How was your week? That was my week.
I'm doing pretty good. Got some motivation. So I'm glad about that, getting these videos done and edited. Yo, I'm letting everybody know. I know I've said this a billion times, but no, we definitely got some new stuff coming for the channel. Finally, we got some new episodes and stuff done. It's been crazy, especially with all this pandemic and all that. But please stay tuned. We got some new episodes of the Loopy Podcast coming for you. So please stay tuned. And subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe, please. I know with all y'all watching, at least 34% of y'all are not subscribed. I seen the numbers. I seen the analytics.
Hey, y'all.
I seen it. 34%. Now, the majority of y'all are subscribed. I love you. Thank you. We love it. 34% of y'all. Please keep watching, but subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It'll make everybody happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'll help us reach our goal of 1,000 subs. That's, help us get there. That's our goal. But we're making headway. But yeah, other than that, week's been good. I'm just ready to, move forward, use this inspiration and, get these videos out. Got possibly a music video in the works. Very excited for that. And the song, fire. Song's fire.
Okay.
So got that going. But yeah, how about yourself, Mr. Blake Lee? How has your week been so far?
You can call me Blake. Just call me Frosty Blake.
Frosty Blake, there it is.
I like that.
Frosty Blake, there it is. How's your week been going?
It's been interesting. I mean, a lot of different things are going on. we lost some legends, and just dealing with this whole pandemic and this whole racism thing. How everybody's sitting up there pimping off the death of Black males. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always the exploitation of Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Particularly Black men.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
I'm raising a son, and I told our viewers before, just having to have a conversation with him after the whole protest and all that started after the George Floyd situation, and just telling him, trying to explain, like, there's just certain people out there who won't like you just because of your skin. And he was like, why? I broke down crying. Like, I couldn't explain it. Like, there's something wrong with them, and it's not your fault. It's just something, and it was tough. It was tough, but yeah, just trying to elevate above this, and for me personally, just trying to do right and be a good example for him.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to instill the values that my dad, instilled in me, and pass that down to him, and just have him be aware of what's going on, but yeah, that's
Right. He should be aware. And, I always say to our white allies, like, a part of being a good ally is, one, listening to Black people, right? If we're telling you something is racist, then you need to listen to it and maybe redirect, or, just open your mind a little bit, because, we should know. We know what racism is. Also, don't teach your children to be colorblind, right? We need your children to know color, right? We just don't ascribe value to color, but they should know that, if they're walking around colorblind, then they don't understand what racism is. They're not going to understand that Black and brown people are being treated differently. They're not going to see it. They need to understand it. So you can't teach them to be colorblind. They need to know, like, no, this is what's happening in the world. So they can be allies to their friends as well. Like, we need allies in this, and that doesn't make us Black supremacists, as Terry Crews said, but
Crazy. He crazy. He ain't got no daggone sense.
we're just gonna move past Terry.
This ain't nothing new. This has been happening ever since 1619.
Terry Crews just shucking and driving like the rest of them, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
He posted an acronym for coon. Did y'all see that?
No,
I gotta scratch that out of my who did it.
Oh, I got it right and I didn't even know.
Conquer our own negativity. Like, who does that? Terry Crews. Conquer our own, like, negativity. Yo, on Twitter they call him the coon liberator. That's what they call him.
No, he's a piece of work.
God, I threw it.
Oh man.
I'm crossing it out.
Yes, I got it right. And I didn't even know it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But with that being said, we are going to do some uplifting. I have a couple Black businesses to shout out today. I hope everybody enjoyed last weekend's cooking with Thai soul food, where they made the pan. Hold on one second. What was it again? Where are my notes at? Hold on. It was a. These ain't it. Oh, I don't have my notes from last week.
Well, it was a vegan dish, and it was
a vegan dish. Oh, here we go. It was a pan-seared marinated tofu,
right,
with charred corn and black-peed succotash and sriracha orange bell coulis. So big shout out to
Oh, it does sound good.
that sounds good, yo. He had a live cooking expedition, and he had the ingredients. So I hope people enjoyed that. And big shout out to him too, making some bomb looking food. I didn't participate, but I seen it. I was whoo, boy bad.
Yeah.
Boy bad. You know what he doing.
Probably doesn't even taste like vegan food.
It don't. It probably don't.
I don't think vegan food tastes like vegan. I mean, I don't know. I ate it.
Oh, you eat tofu? You ever had tofu?
Yeah, I'm a vegan.
Oh, you just said. Oh, what about you, Blake? Frosty Blake.
No, I love all my children are vegetarian.
That's
I'm
what
vegetarian.
Oh yeah, he's a vegetarian.
That's what my grandson calls me. Vegetarian. We're still trying to figure that out.
So big shout out to him. Let me shout out these other two businesses. The first one is owned by Barbara Houston, and the company's name, her business is called Natural Barbie. They provide hair and body products made with natural ingredients that exfoliates and soothes the skin.
Is that in Massachusetts? Is that in Boston?
Actually, that is actually here in Brockton.
Oh, cool.
She also says our products moisturize the scalp with stimulating aromatic oils and puts luster back into natural tresses or locks. And then they also provide natural hair services in conjunction with their products.
Wow.
So that sounds dope. You can find her on Facebook at Natural Barbie, and Instagram under the same name, Natural Barbie. And you can email if you have any more inquiries at contact@naturalbarbie.com. And once again, like all the businesses that we shout out after the show, in the description, you'll see all their information, where you can find them, links to their websites, all of that. So check that out for your hair, body, smooth skin, exfoliation. You gotta love that. I like that word, exfoliation. Clean your pores. The second business is a daycare. If you need daycare services, the owner is Alicia Jno-Baptiste. And this is actually, she can be found in the JP area of Boston. She has a phone number where you can call, get more information about how you can get your kid into the child care, and give you all the information about that. The number is 617-522-7901, and the email, you can reach her on email, is aliciakim2001@hotmail.com. And again, it's child care services. I know people need a place for the kids to go to be safe, especially, things are starting to open up again slowly. I personally am a little wary about that. We won't get into that, but, we do want to let people know that there is services out there. And again, all this information will be in the description once the show is over. So those are my two business shout outs. With that being said, we're going to transition into what would have been Brother Oreo's, weekly sum up, but unfortunately, again, he's not here, and that task goes to Miss Knowledge. So, Miss Knowledge, take it away, please.
Wow. Well, I wasn't really prepared for this, but we're just gonna go on the fly. So, this week, this has been a tough week. So I was kind of looking for like a feel-good story because it's just not even a tough week. It's just been a tough 2020, right? Like it's really tough. So any feel-good story is a good story. So something came across my Twitter feed, and it was like this viral video, coolest thing ever. So this woman drove up to a McDonald's drive-through in Philly, and she was talking to the girl that came to the window. The girl's like, "Hi, can I take your order?" And she's like, "Baby, how much do you make?" Right? And the girl's like, "Have you guys seen this video?"
No.
No? All right. So she's like, "How much do you make?" And the girl said, you know, whatever, $8.25 or something like that. So she's like, "How would you like to make $12? $12 an hour?" And she's like, "What? You kidding me?" She's like, "Nah, baby, I'm serious, right?" So she's like, who's that back there?" Like my coworker. So the coworker comes to the window. She's like, "How much do you make?" She told her. She's like, "How would you like to make, $12 an hour?" So while I'm watching this video, I'm going, "Oh, this is like some type of kid trafficking, right?" It sounds like really,
Right?
it did, like it gave me like this weird icky feeling, like what the hell? Because she's like, come on, auntie, right? And then she's actually on the phone herself. Well, I guess her business partner is like, "Stop doing things like that. You can't be doing that. You sound creepy, whatever." She's like, "Nah, come on, babies, come with me. I'm gonna get you $12 an hour." So apparently this woman is Sadia Schuler. Have you guys heard of her? She's a Black entrepreneur in Philadelphia. Like all of Philly knows Sadia Schuler. So I guess these girls knew who she was when she drove up, because they really did. They were like, right? They were astonished, and she was like,
they're like, "Oh snap! Look who it is!"
Exactly. So listen, they took the McDonald's hats off and that stuff, and they went outside. She's like, "Meet me at Country Cooking." Gave them the address. They drove to Country Cooking. She called her staff. She's like, "Yo, I need y'all to come down here, train these girls again, $12 an hour, on board them." So I did a little more digging, and she hired 11 people that day to come work at her restaurant. So let's shout out Country Cooking in Philly.
Great.
Yeah, shout out to Claudia Schuler. I'm pretty sure she does way more than just this right here, because she's an entrepreneur. So I have a feeling that she has her hands in a little bit of everything, because they know her and she's well known in Philly, and she's well known for doing things like this, just like plucking them. And good for those girls. Like they went out on a limb and just said, "You know what? Yeah, let's go." So good for them. Yay. So that's
wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
We need a great story this week, man. Come on. And $8? Come on. What is the minimum wage in Pennsylvania? Is it $8.25?
That it has to be, and I mean,
you would think that Philly would be having a higher minimum wage than that. $8. What is it here? Like
15, or it's no, it'll be 15 in like another 3 years. Right now, I think it might be like 12.
And you can't even
13.
live on that, like $12 an hour. Who's living on that? You would have to work 80 hours a week.
That's why you gotta have like 4 people in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Like, don't get a 4-bedroom, because a 4-bedroom you might as well be paying $500,000. Like, yo, the rent and it's the wages like has been stagnant since like the 50s.
Oh my God.
But the cost of living has gone up with new technology.
It's 8 o'clock.
And being able to go different places faster, like it's gone up.
Yeah.
And everything costs. You need a subscription for this and a subscription for that.
Especially in Massachusetts, like you see,
yes. If you live
all the time, grown people have to have roommates. Grown men and women, like, well, I'm not talking grown.
You can't live by yourself.
Grown 40s, living with roommates, like they got 3, 4 in a room like that. But
It's ridiculous. You can't.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, rent control. Well, going off topic, but our governor does not want to have any type of rent control. Why is that? Well, we know why, but that's crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So that was that. So let's move on to our game. My favorite part of the show. Who said it?
Right.
All ready? You ready, Leonard?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
All right.
So real quick, before you start, everybody, all our usual suspects, I'm talking to everybody in the chat. And the chat is on fire right now. I definitely want to give a little time later on to read all the comments. Y'all wild. Y'all wild in the chat.
Can I just mention some good news?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
And I'm not trying to blow myself up, but I'm in Boston Magazine around an initiative I was doing, giving out free masks. So I thought that was good. I thought that was good news because
nice. Nice. We're gonna have to
came out this weekend. It was just showing, giving out free masks in the community.
Nice.
It was a good hit. It was a good. I'm just trying to give a small plug, but you know.
Now that's good because you masked a lot of Boston. Like
about 30,000 people.
Yeah, the underserved. Wow. You were out there, so kudos to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I just had the idea. I pulled in people to help me do it, but it was a blessing.
Yeah, you out here doing things. That's why we wanted you on the show.
Oh, nice. You asked for trouble. Here it comes. Oh, Lord.
So, yes, you guys, so are we moving on to who said it?
Yeah, go right ahead.
My Terry Crews one, like he's like the best always. But so who said this week, unarmed Black people being killed by police is rare?
Dang.
Oh, Lord.
And not only said this, but gave an example of so far this year, 11 white people have gotten killed by police and only 6 Black. Went on to give that example. Like the 7, like from January to July is really an indication of what the data really is, but okay.
You got
anyone?
Wait, so I'm going with Michelle Porter.
Yeah.
She said bar.
Yes,
I'm going with that.
Joe, it was.
He said that? Was that during his Senate hearing?
Yes.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Sure did. And they blew him up with that too. They came with data. You know, those black congressmen and women ate him alive with that. Like, well, I forgot who it was, but actually asked them, so when you were hired, how many Black and brown people did you bring with you to the job? He couldn't even answer. The guy was like, the congressman was like, I'd like the data on that. He was baffled by it, just shocked. So, yeah.
Well, would you expect from one of Trump's? No, I said it. Lump's lackeys. You know, like.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Next. Sex dreams involving demons cause illnesses, and alien DNA is used in medication.
Oh God, I forget her name, but
the Black doctor lady.
The one from Mars.
Yes.
Right.
She's from Mars.
Stella Emanuel. Do you know that I literally went to the Texas physician's profile to find her medical license because I was just like, there's no way she's a doctor. Like I was trying to find her license to be like, are y'all joking right now? What? You know, she's a member of the Tea Party.
Really?
That whole doctors group of people, they're like leftover Tea Party people. That's why he retweets.
That's wild. I was watching the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. Ain't a plug, but big fan of the show. He was like, she's from South Africa.
Right.
Yeah, that was wild. But he was like, he wanted to say, and I do want to say this too. One, not all doctors will say that dumb shit.
Of course
Second,
not.
No other Black doctor lady is gonna say the dumb mess that came out of her mouth. she is
Dr. Lady.
on an island by herself in the middle of what the hell are you thinking ocean? Like,
But
so
you know what? This isn't honestly, I don't even think these people are crazy. You know, I just think he pays for this. You
Yeah.
know, he pays, and like I told you this week, they filed a complaint, and I'm saying they only because I don't remember what organization did it, but they discovered that he's funneling money through these shell corporations, paying his son, his son's wife, his daughter, all of his friends, like they're being paid from the campaign finances. So he's paying these people to say this. That's what they're not crazy. They're just getting a check.
That happens more often than not. Remember, doctors were saying that Black people were inferior. They had smaller brains. These were doctors, medical doctors,
Right.
who have well written about everything about white people.
Right.
And you know, it's just one more doctor getting paid.
I think they might have froze.
Oh, McNugget froze. It's like you can hear his voice,
Oh.
but his, oh, there you are.
There we go. There we go. I was like, what happened?
And she's actually, and I think not only is she a doctor, I think she's a pediatrician. Like
Yeah.
this woman is a pediatrician talking about alien. Like
Can't even get.
she looks like Miss Cleo. She's like the new Miss Cleo. Remember Miss Cleo?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what this lady looks like. She's got a whole church of alien. Like who talks about alien sperm? Like who does that?
The crazy thing is, on a side note to, because she was also saying that she was prescribing patients in South Africa hydroxychloroquine. And like she was like, oh, it cured all these patients and stuff like that.
Yeah, because malaria is running rampant there, right? So
yes,
of course.
And it's for people who have lupus, and I have family members in my family members who have that, and there's by this dummy saying that this particular drug can help people.
Yes,
is taking away from a much needed medication for people who actually have an illness that it can help.
Right.
Now, luckily, you know, my family member, you know, is able to, you know, get the medication that they need. But if you have other people who don't need it,
right,
you know, like, come on.
I mean, this is what he wants because, you know, bottom line is, come on, let's be real. Trump has stock in this drug.
And another side note, they just gave Kodak, people who do cameras, $765 million to produce either a chemical or the actual hydroxychloroquine.
Hey.
A camera company.
That's crazy.
A camera company is making pharmaceuticals now.
I didn't even know Kodak was really around. Like, what?
Kodak got bankrupt.
Right, that's
they were about to go legit out of business.
What's happening with Kodak? But oh well, he saved them.
That's exactly what happened. They were like, you could buy a Kodak for like $2. Like it was Kodak. Oh man, but yeah, now they're making this drug.
Yeah. All right. Next quote. I am happy to inform all of the people living in their suburban lifestyle dream that you will no longer be bothered or financially hurt by having low-income housing built in your neighborhood. I am happy to inform the people living their suburban lifestyle dream that you will no longer, yes. Donald Trump. So that's like the new deflection that's going on right now. It's like he wants to get the suburban housewives on his team because, you know, it's a part of why he sent those federal police or whoever they were over to Portland or whatever. Like he's trying to scare, because he took all that video clip and made himself a nice commercial of like the world in ruin, and like Donald Trump is like the big orange guy is here to save the day. So now he's trying to win the suburban housewives back. So he's trying to scare them into like submission so they vote for him. Like, you know, I'm here to save the suburbs. I am here to help you. And he's saying that because what he did today or yesterday was rescind Obama's bill that for fair housing. I think he did that today. Didn't he rescind that today? Or he's trying to rescind it, or he's about to rescind it. So this is all in combination of what he's trying to do, and he's trying to scare these people. But like, it's stupid because gentrification. So the people in the suburbs, those white housewives and those yuppies are actually coming into the city. So like, what are you talking about? Gentrification is like here. So it's not even like that suburban dream that you're talking about has looked different for a lot of years. So this shows how out of touch he is. And it's like, this dude's talking about segregation. Like, what is this? This is his tweet. Like, this is literally a tweet about segregation. Like, we don't want low income housing built in your neighborhoods, which is code word for we just don't want, you know, the poor Black and brown people.
Right. It's 2020 redlining.
Right.
Or coded wording for that.
But it's coded wording, but not really. Like, it's like who doesn't know what this means? This is what, you know, people who are Trump supporters will try to twist it into something that it's not, but it is what it is. It's segregation, bottom line. Okay, next. Ironic in the last week, it's ironic. In the last week or two, I have worn a mask more than I have in the whole last 4 months. Ironic, in the last week or two, I have worn a mask more than I have in the whole last 4 months. And now I have COVID. Let me help you.
Oh, who's that?
That's that senator.
Yeah, Representative.
I forgot his name. What's his name?
Louis Gohmert.
Yeah. Looked like a reject from a 40s TV.
Yeah, he was about to get on Air Force One. Dang it. And he had COVID. Like, he would have like messed everybody on that plane up with that COVID. But now he's blaming it on the mask. He said it's because he was wearing the mask is why he got the COVID. Wow, dude. And he didn't wear a mask. So, yeah. Last quote. Very last quote. And it's going to segue into my headline, and because I know, Leonard, you have things to do. So last quote: do not get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, a week, a month, or a year. It is the struggle of a lifetime. Never, ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble. Necessary trouble.
You know, that is our brother, Mr. John Lewis.
That's right. That is a way to end the quotes, and that was the quote of the week. Man, good trouble. And that leads me to my headline real quick. I just want to talk about some good trouble that we all should be getting into, right? Because before Congressman Lewis passed, they were trying to get the John Lewis voting bill passed. I don't know where it's being held in. Is it being held up in the Senate or somewhere? but it hasn't been
Yeah.
passed, right?
No.
Right.
That's
So,
not.
right.
They
So,
want to.
right. So, with the protest, right? We can't have protests without politics. They go hand in hand. You know, the protest will get the politicians' attention, but that vote is going to get us policy, right? We need policy.
Facts. Facts.
You know, we have to make sure that all Americans can vote. They don't want us to vote. They are trying to suppress our vote. This isn't new. They've been trying to suppress our votes forever, like since we could vote. They were trying to suppress our vote. You know, they'd have us, you know, our ancestors walk like 50 miles to one place to vote and guess jelly beans in a jar. And if you didn't guess the amount of jelly beans, you couldn't vote, or like tell you you're at the wrong voting place. And then you had to go another 20 miles somewhere else. And by the time you got there, you couldn't vote. So we're not new to this. But we have to continue to stress that we have to vote. And I keep telling people to tell your children to vote. Get your kids pre-registered. If they are 16 years old, you can pre-register your kids right now to vote. You should be doing it. You just go online, pre-register them to vote. Once they turn 18, they will be ready to vote. They will send you everything you need, your voting place, everything. Pre-register these children to vote. We have to push to get, I don't know, I think we have it in this state where when you get your learner's permit, you can register to vote there. That is not in every state. It should be a thing. That is a thing that once you get your permit, you should be registered to vote. It should be a thing that if you are a senior in high school or a junior, that we should be in there getting these kids registered to vote. That should just be a thing. We have to expand early voting. They're taking that away. They're
taking away mail-in ballots or mail-in voting.
Right. Well, yeah, they're trying, which is ridiculous because if you can't mail it, that's hurting Trump's demographic as well, which is crazy because his demographic are like older, white, some sickly people. Yeah. Like that is his demographic. So you're telling them
mainly in Florida.
Right. But there are already some states who mail in vote. That's just what they do, you know? Yeah. So that needs to be expanded. Every state should have mail-in voting. It is not a problem. They match everything up. And it's interesting because we got did you get your application yet? For vote to, Did you get yours, McNugget there?
No, not yet. I have to check the mail.
Right. So like ours came in for all the kids, right? And my kids are like, well, just sign mine. I'm like, no, I cannot sign this. Whatever signature that you sign on this application, you have to make sure that when you get your ballot, it is the same signature or they are going to throw it out. So you have to sign it, and you have to sign it the way you typically sign your things, right? When you do if your state is allowing you to vote by mail, you can track it. So you can go online to make sure that they get your ballot. These things.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, track your ballot. Just don't put it in the mailbox and go away and forget about it. Nah, track it and make sure that they get it. Your vote needs to count. We need more voting places. We don't have that issue here in Mass.
No.
Gosh, the
other places, yeah, they definitely have to. Georgia took out at least 85% of their polling booths, so there's like maybe 2,
right,
or 3, and that services like 4 or 5 counties.
Right. So this is our power. Our power is the ballot. We have to vote. We need equal representation. We need people that look like us, that represent us, Black, brown people, women. Vote these people out. That is my headline. It is very quick. 94 days, 95 days. We got to get out Yeah, you know, we're gonna start posting links of things of that nature, like how you can track your ballot, the different districts where the polling places are. We're gonna get all that information out there.
Yeah, we'll get that information, get it out to you. And that's one of the things we always stress on the show from day one. We've been stressing it even more recently. Register to vote. If you think, again, what happened to Mr. Floyd, if you are outraged, if you are hurt by that, if you are angry about what you saw in that video, and you couldn't get out to protest and be part of that movement, register to vote. If you were part of the movement, if anything about that angered you, register to vote. If you didn't see that, if you've been living under a rock, and all you've been paying attention to is politics,
if that didn't anger you, you need to self-reflect, because
right?
That's an issue. If you didn't get upset about that, I don't know what to tell you. Let me know so I can unfriend you, unfollow you, or something.
I also would remind people, you know, we don't need a voting rights act because they don't have no voting rights act for white people. We just need to be treated equally like anyone else and have the rights of anyone else in America. So we should be telling our legislators, and our senators, and our congressmen, after you vote and put them in, make them accountable and say, no. Why do we have a voting rights act? We don't have it for white people.
Right.
Right.
Why do we have it for black people? Why don't we just have one for everybody? And so if anybody's has injustices around that, it's crazy. But anyway.
Yeah, no, but it's true, because you know what they were doing in a lot of these states. They have all these strict rules, like, you know, you got to show driver's license, this ID, passport, like you got to show like 20 forms of ID just to vote, which is interesting because I just go up the street and they're like, what's your name? And I tell them my name and that's it. I don't even.
Yeah.
Who?
They make it stressful for the communities that don't have proper representation. Like they'll go into areas where it's just like, yeah, ain't nobody gonna get here, and they give them hell.
Right.
And
but they need to get to that concept.
Right.
We have to have a national voting rights, the laws that govern around that, because right now they give it to individual states. So
Absolutely.
I'm Mr. Racist in Texas.
Right.
I'm saying, well, this black community, and I got 10 white people, and I got 2,000 black people. I'm gonna make sure them black people gonna have a
right.
Yeah. And they
10 white people, they all got green cards, so they're gonna vote me in.
Yeah.
Because they have individual, the states have individual rights, and they should make a national
and that's
voting
the problem, right? That is the
and they use that.
Right.
They use states' rights when it works for them or when it doesn't. Because on certain issues, they'll leave it to the federal government. Well, the federal government has to X, Y, and Z. Oh, but let something that they can control. Oh, no, it's states' rights. The federal government can't do that. And then it's vice versa. Because you have the Republican Party in office, you have the Republican governors telling them, like, yo, you know, leave it up to the state. Let the states worry about it.
And they fight within the state, which is
well, that's why we're where we're at with the whole COVID thing, because there should have been a national minimum standard that all states had to abide by. And since there wasn't, therefore all hell breaks loose.
And look at is it Florida, when the certain cities are having mandatory masks, and then the governor has the nerve to want to sue.
Atlanta. That's Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta, right?
That's my girl.
The mayor Bottoms. He wanted.
That's my,
Well, he took that away. He changed his mind, I guess. But because you're an idiot. Like what? Your state is surging right now. What is wrong with you? Oh, because Trump said so. So I got to do it. What? And you're right. Like we could be so much further with these fools, and then these fools are going to come to Massachusetts and mess us all up. But whatever.
Right.
It all comes back to what you were saying earlier. If you don't vote, you can't put in the proper congressmen and senators and push your issues forward. Because these issues have been going on since the beginning, since Reconstruction. I mean, this is nothing new. For those who don't know, You know, all you got to do is press a button and Google. You can put it in there. You can find all this stuff. We've been fighting for the same stuff since back in 1932 and 18. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy, and we can't stress enough. Vote, vote, vote. You know, and what I say, vote for your interests.
Yeah.
Vote for the things that matter to you, and not necessarily because they look like you. Because sometimes the people that look like you will screw you over.
That's right.
You know, they're in it because it gives them power. You know, they get money. They get, you know, their spotlight. Make sure that the person that you vote for that looks like you votes and is talking about the same issues that matter: healthcare, the economy, wages, you know, issues that are going to affect you personally.
Right.
You know, that's how you become an informed voter. Vote for those issues,
And also
and make sure that you can hold them accountable. Just like everybody's saying, we're going to vote you out of office, make sure we get Trump out of office. If the person you vote for isn't doing what you put them in office for, get them out. Call them on the carpet about it. Don't just sit there and take it. Even for the people who you voted in office,
Right.
the people you like, if they're not doing what you want them to do, call them, let them know. Don't just sit there.
Yeah.
And
Bye,
get
Ingalls.
away with it.
You see what happened to Ingalls? See ya, Ingalls. You took that for granted. Bye.
And understand a lot of people don't know what legislators do. They don't know what a city councilman does. They don't know what a state rep does. They don't know what a federal congressman does. They don't know what a state senator versus a federal senator. They don't know what a mayor does and what he can do. They don't know what a governor. The average person are not informed in terms of the local power, not even on the national level. So it becomes really important not only to vote, but to understand what the people you're putting in place in those positions are.
We always talk about that on the show, and
a lot of people, the average person, you ask, they don't have a clue. You're going to say, well, what does the city council do? I don't know. They work in City Hall. What does the mayor do? Well, he runs the city. Well, what does that look like? You know, all this stuff is really, really important to understand the power of your vote.
Right. You say that, especially the district.
You know, we gotta make that happen. We gotta get that show together where we can inform you guys on these different things. And I've said it. Frosty Oreos has said it. Miss Knowledge has said it. You know, voting for different people. We stress voting for your DA and making sure you pay attention to that, because the DA can hold police accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
We've told you that. We've told you, you know, make sure you pay attention to who your city council members are.
Right.
You know, that's where the awesome Ayanna Pressley got her start from.
Yeah.
You know, knowing these positions and like, you know, Frosty Blake said, knowing what they do can better help understand and make your vote even more powerful.
Right.
And yeah, we gotta make that happen. We gotta break it down for the people so that they can.
It's so frustrating when you hear people go, Obama didn't do anything. He couldn't get anything done. And it's like, because once he got elected, y'all stopped voting. Y'all forgot about the Congress and the Senate. If we don't have the Congress and the Senate, what we gonna do? He can't do anything. His hands are really tied, right?
Blew my mind with that.
Worst case scenario, right, is Trump gets reelected. Worst case scenario. But if we had the Senate, he's gone. If we had the Senate now, he would be gone. It's so important to vote down the line.
Yes. Local on up. I mean, the presidential election is very important, but your city and state and local governments are just as vital, because even if he were to get reelected, if you have, you know, the senators and people in the House that you want, they can hold his feet to the fire. As an example, AOC, you know, the squad, as they say, you know, Ilhan Omar and Ayanna Presley, you know, and Rashida Tlaib, like people like that in Congress, in the House, in the Senate, as your mayor, as people in your local government. If you have as that type of example in your local governments, yo, ain't nobody gonna be pulling nothing, because they're gonna fight for you. They're gonna make sure the right laws are in place. You're making enough money to feed your family. These CEOs ain't dicking their workers over. And if you're a lady and you get pregnant, you get the time needed so that you can raise your family and have that time off. Like, having people that understand those issues is vital.
Yeah.
And making sure we have people in office that understand that is just as important. And the only way that can happen is if you register to vote.
All politics is local. All politics is local.
Yep. So with that being said, we're going to transition into our special guest. What can I say? I will let Miss Lana Knowledge bring that.
Lana Knowledge. This is a very special guest for me because, he's an activist. He sits on the board of so many things. I said, hey, send me a blurb of what you do. And it was like, whoa. It was like a scroll. I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the board of this. But listen, there are two of my favorite things that Lenard does. He is a beekeeper extraordinaire, and he is a ski instructor. And I find these things pretty amazing because he has gotten into a couple of things that are almost taboo for Black people, right? So he's like doing something that, Black people tend to shy away from. Black people typically don't like snow. We don't like cold. So we really don't do skiing because we don't like snow. We don't like the cold. Bees, like, dope. So
right. I'm allergic to bees, but I like bees. I like them.
Listen, it's like bees. But Lenard, how did you? First question: what made you get into beekeeping?
Well, it's basically because of my work. I for years, people know me as an anti-violence prevention, working with young people for probably about 30, 40 years, and then turning over, working for the state as Division of Violence and Injury Prevention, working with a lot of groups and stuff, and I buried a lot of kids. And in that process, I had to develop some self-care for myself. Part of that self-care was being an avid skier, being part of the National Brotherhood of Skiers, which is 15,000 Black skiers throughout the country, and they have clubs in every major city in the country. Second to that was beekeeping. I grew up in Franklin Field, Columbia Point, Academy Homes, and in that process, I always had a fascination with bugs. I'm not going to tell you what type of bugs, but I had a fascination with bugs. And
what kind of bugs? How, roaches?
No, hey, leave them alone. They need love too. Leave them alone. So
cockroaches.
So with that, I always was interested in bees. And so I was watching GBH one time, and I saw this guy talking about bees and Boston beekeepers, and I was, let me check it out. I didn't know much about it. So he came over my house and he was telling me about, okay, you can do this, we can put some hives back there. And but it sounded like it was a hustle. So I left it alone, took some classes, and next thing, 8 years later, I become a beekeeper, and I'm also doing instruction. People, it's interesting because when people find out I'm an urban beekeeper, they go, oh, magical Negro. Oh, he does bees. Oh, he must be magical. And, I'm sitting up there going like, so interestingly enough, my people are from mostly Georgia. And so I went down, I was like, oh yeah, I'm a beekeeper. Oh yeah, I'm a beekeeper. I got bees, get honey. And one of my relatives said to me, "Yo, what?" And I said, "Beekeeper." He said, "Boy, look behind that shed over there." He had about 22 beehives. And I said, "Oh, you're a beekeeper too?" He said, "You're a beekeeper too?" He said, "No." He said, "That's what we use to make sure they pollinate the crops that we need. They're just a tool to us." And I was like, he said, "You think about it. Ever since slavery, we've been out in the fields, we have to have proper tools. So bees are pollinators. So they would always pollinate the crops that they had to pull." And I was like, "Oh, shoot." He said, and he laughed at me, we laughed back and forth. And I was like, so with Black people, beekeepers is something that goes back to early times of slavery.
Wow.
Because bees are naturally from Europe, and they were brought over here to pollinate the crop. And in that process, they wind up producing honey, which everybody winds up liking. And that's why, if you look at some of the bee shows, there was a show with Alicia Keys. There was a beekeeping with Alicia Keys, Queen Latifah, and it was a bee, and they were raising a beehive. I forget the name of it, but it goes back to what my cousins and my relatives were saying back in Mosley, Georgia, of that bees have always been in Black people's lives.
Wow.
Maybe not in the city. So I became a beekeeper, and I started a label. I call it Roof Soulful Bees, pure organic honey from the hood. Okay.
Yo, I want to try some of that.
This is the bottle. This is the bottle. It's I named it after my mother. It says honey harvested for the soul, Dorchester, Mass. It's all Dorchester bees. It takes about 100 bees to make a teaspoon of honey.
Where do you get the bees from?
I get the bees from once I open up a hive. I get the bees from either Georgia. Sometimes I get them from California, and then that's a package. And they normally last you anywhere from 3 to 8 years because they winter over the winter. They winter in their hives. And if you think about it, bees are natural. So when people always say to me, "Oh, you make honey?" I said, "No, I steal it. I go in the hive when they looking, put some smoke on them, and then I take the honey out, I spin it, and then I put it in a jar like this."
Yo, that is awesome.
Isn't it?
Wow.
You have a whole beekeeper's thing on.
I got
the little white suit with the
smoke. Yeah, I got the smoker. I got the beehive and the hat and all that stuff. And it's interesting because a lot of people, when they see me walking around, so folks walk up to me, "Oh, you're a beekeeper?" I said, "Yeah, that's everything. There ain't nothing we don't do." I said, "We do everything." But no, it's really, I have a love. A beehive is dominantly female, and they all look after the queen. The males serve one purpose, and I know y'all can guess what that is. He impregnates the queen. The males don't have stingers. All they do is impregnate the queen and eat food. And then in November,
just like real life.
Yeah, but the only difference is that around November they kill them. They kill all the males, drag them out the hive, and then because over while they're hibernating over the winter, they don't need males because they don't impregnate the queen. So therefore, all they do is eat food. So they kill them, so they have more food. Wow. So I know I'm looking at Frosty Knowledge, and she's going like, "That's not a bad deal."
Yeah, I know. I'm like, yeah.
It's like, okay.
You only need the male when you need him. It's like,
you're
taking from my family right now, so you gotta go. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it just sounds like the praying mantis when the lady eats the dude's head after they get done shaboing it.
Oh yeah, they eat the male's head. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. But it is fascinating because within the hive, the honeybees, they all have tasks. They're all female, and they all have. It's like a perfect universe. That's why I refer to you as queen bee, because the queen is it. I mean, she all she does is lay eggs, and if they need worker bees, they'll feed the eggs a certain amount of food to get worker bees. If they need males, they'll feed the babies a certain amount of food. They'll get males. Everything is designed, and I find it's really fascinating is that the bees travel up to 6 miles from the hive. So the bees at my house go all the way up to the Blue Hills if they need to pollinate flowers, and then they find their way back. I have a hard time finding my way back to the Blue Hills. Imagine a little bee. Oh,
that's crazy.
How do you know that they go? You're just saying they just go 6 miles wherever?
Yeah, they go anywhere they can pollinate. So if they can pollinate in your neighbor's yard, they pollinate. If they can pollinate, they just keep on going, and then they find their way back. It's amazing. It really is amazing.
Wow. That's wow.
That was I love that. And that was a lot of education. So
right? Didn't they say like 30,000 bees were dying like a couple years ago? I heard somewhere that they said if we lose like, I think it was like 500,000 bees, we're doomed. Is that how important the bees are to pollination and stuff like that?
The bees supply up to 40% of our food chain. And 500,000, I got 500,000 in my own beehive. So we're talking we're talking 500 million.
Oh, okay.
That have
yeah,
impact.
I knew it was some big number like that.
Strawberries. No, you're right on point. But it's really, without bees, we wouldn't have the things that we eat. I mean, they are so important for the pollination. That's one of the reasons why I became a beekeeper, because I just wanted to keep that food chain going and the importance. And they have been a decline in bees because of pesticides, GMOs, and also because of varroa mites. These mites that came, I think they came from South America, and they attached themselves to the bees, and they're like parasites, and they suck your blood. So you have to treat your bees. I treat my bees very naturally with oxalic acid and some spearmint to get the mites off of the bees. But you're absolutely right. Right now we're in a crisis. I was in China, and I met some beekeepers in China where the bees were dying at such a rapid rate. They had people pollinating the crop. I mean, it was amazing. It was just amazing.
And that's another reason to vote, like because of our environment, right?
Yes, yes.
Too. Like our environment is just, it's going to be too late. I don't think we can do 4 more years of
exactly.
Trump. The environment is going to be too late to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically already, if not there. I mean, the environment's crazy. He's given all these oil companies free reign on beautiful places like in Yellowstone and down in the Gulf of Mexico, and like it affects our communities the worst.
Yes.
Because of the smog and the smoke, all of that, and that's just another variable or another brick on that we have to carry in our daily lives dealing with other issues. Like it's just another aspect, another struggle that we have to go through. If it's not, making sure we got a job, trying to get a job, we were talking about, rent control and having a place to live, food, like now we got to worry about the weather and, pollution, and that affects our lungs and breathing. And bees dying, like
these lives matter.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
These lives matter, man.
They really do.
Our bees.
So if you want to become a beekeeper, I'll mention to you, no problem. Put it right in your backyard.
Nice. Where can people buy the honey? If people want to purchase the honey that you bought a lot.
I basically at farm stands, the community got farm stands they have like in Ashmont or JP or in Dorchester and Fields Corner. The only thing is I'm so emotionally attached to the honey that I don't like to sell it, so I jack the price up so that people won't buy it, but they still buy it anyway. It's addicting. This is addicting. When you have some of this, you will never go back.
I want to try some. That's why I'm like, where can I get some?
You'll be at my door. I'll get you some. You'll be at my door. You'll be like,
Yo,
Can I get some of that honey, please? Can I get a little bit of honey?
Yeah.
I got at least 40 people who are saying to me, did you harvest yet? I'm like, it's not
Wow.
about that.
So how many times do you harvest? Is there like a time frame? You know, like how does that whole process work?
Normally harvest maybe once or twice a season. Normally either it could be early May, June, depending. Right now it's harvesting around end of July, second week of August, you'll harvest. But the number one thing is making sure you have enough honey in there for them to have stores over the winter. Basically, honey is their food. So while the way you're gonna love this, the way they keep warm in the wintertime, they flap their wings. Look at me flapping my wings. They flap their wings and they make it will be 2 degrees outside. They make the hive 91 degrees by flapping their wings.
That's crazy.
They hover around the queen to keep her warm. And so they need to eat food to have energy to flap their wings. But they keep the hive between 85 and 91 degrees, and it could be freezing outside. But the whole idea is keeping the queen alive. Everything's about that queen.
All of that is happening inside of that hive, yo. There's like sex happening. There's murder happening in there.
Yeah, well, it's all about the queen.
Yeah, there's like all kind of stuff happening in that hive. That's crazy.
It's amazing. It really is amazing.
But
that's awesome. Have you ever put like a camera in the hive to see like what's going on when you're not around?
Yes. So
you can sell that as a documentary.
Right. We're gonna have to talk. We're gonna talk after the show. We're gonna talk after the show. We're talking after the show.
That would be a documentary. But I have another question. Outside of the bees, and I know you're a ski instructor, but you're also an activist, and I just wanted to touch on that because we, talk about systemic oppression and how Black men in particular are endangered, things like that. And I know you have a march coming up, I believe.
Well, we did a march because we've seen all these marches in our community, but none of them included Black men.
Okay.
I mean, and since Black men are dying in rapid, since the beginning of the lynchings, the homicides, the attacks, the focused attacks on Black men since the beginning, and there wasn't a focused march around Black men healing. So we did one on Father's Day. We had a couple hundred men, and we were wearing shirts that says "I am a man." A Black man. So we wanted to bring back the resurgence of I Am a Man movement that was down in Memphis.
Right.
And around the sanitation strike. Because people don't look at us as men, they look at us as animals. Even to this day, when they, I can't breathe is nothing new for us.
Right.
And people to acknowledge like, oh, a bulb went off in their head, but we can talk about thousands of Black men who've been decapitated, you got video, you got all types of things that have happened. So one of the things we wanted to do is, the brothers were so excited about this march that they were like, Leonard, we want to continue this. So we were invited down by Al Sharpton to come down on the march on the 28th. So I've been raising money and working with a state senator who is not Black, because he's the only one that came out and said, hey, listen, what can I do?
Wow.
And he came out and he raised almost $50,000 for us. He didn't ask anything in return. He just said it's the right thing to do. And he wants to support the healing of Black men, of how we've been basically massacred. We've been emasculated over and over and over again, not only in our workplace, but in our homes, in our society, in our community. And so this is a first step of real healing for us. And I'm not talking about healing if a Black man is going to prison or a Black man is on drugs. Before all that, we still have to deal with the fact that we're Black men and we're constantly being barraged from kindergarten to graduation. You guys know the numbers around how many young Black boys are in special needs in the 3rd and 4th grade, and also that study that was done by the Robert Wood Foundation that found that all the private prisons were building them based on the failure of how many Black boys got held back in the 4th grade.
Let me tell you that. Listen, my son, and not to interrupt you, but this
Oh, no, 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 that's
is
fine.
the same. Like he went to a charter school in Boston, and he's that kid that was always just like had to be doing something, right? And the uh, and it's interesting because they had like these young teachers that just didn't know how to deal with him,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Charter school, and we need more Black men as teachers. I support that for sure. So he had this white woman, nice woman, but she babied him a lot, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she babied him to the point where he started to take advantage of her. He
Yes.
took her phone, like he would start acting out. And the first thing that they wanted to do was, I think he has ADHD.
Yep.
And I'm just like, me and my ex at the time, he was like, nah, they just want money because they get money for every kid
That's
they
right.
put into
That's
special
right.
needs.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm not taking him to my pediatrician to say he has, but no, he doesn't have special needs. No, you guys need to learn how to teach my son. And I tell this to, well, I used to, my girlfriend's kids are older now, but I used to say, don't just take what they say as, golden, right? You know your kids better than anyone
That's
else.
right.
You know what works for your kid. So I had a meeting with them. I'm like, listen, we are going to figure out a way that you can help my son, right? I'm going to help you help my son. I'm going to give you what I know about him so you can use that so you can help my son because he does not have ADHD. When he's home, he's not bouncing off the walls. He's fine. He's calm. We go in the store. He's fine. He's calm. Why is it only when he's in this school that he's crazy? So let's focus on how to deal with that. So what we did was we came up with a plan. And again, he was like in the fifth grade, maybe fourth, fifth grade, when they had city year in the school.
Oh, yeah.
And what we did was we had a city year student go to every class with him, right? And they had like a checklist. And if he had his homework, if he did well, first they wanted to do, if he did well for the whole week, he would get like something. I would give him a treat, McDonald's. And I'm like, yo, my child doesn't do well like that, right? A week is too long for him to go without some positive reinforcement. We're going to do every single day. You're going to give me a report on him. That way I can build him up every day and not just wait for the week. And then you're like, this is what it is. So we came up with that plan. Also, when he started feeling anxious, all he had to do was raise his hand and they would let him go to the nurse and skip rope. And that would let that energy, right? So we worked out a plan. And that's why I try to tell people like, no, don't take what they say as word, right? Know who your son is, and you go in there and you make them develop a plan for your kid because every kid is not the same. You cannot teach every child the same. Black boys and Black girls learn differently. There are Black boys that are there that are scholastic, that are just like, right? Not all of them are like that. They don't all learn the same. So we have to treat them and teach them differently. And that's my story on that.
No, your story is a common story. And if you don't have someone like yourself advocating, they do an IEP, they put them in there, they get, they told me that my daughter would never, they told me, my daughter and my son, they're junior college students. My daughter graduated with honors. My son's down at Morehouse killing it. And if I would have believed those white folk, they would not be there.
Right.
But you hit the nail on the head. We learn differently. We socialize differently. We learn differently. You can't treat me like a white kid in the suburbs or anywhere because we socialize differently. Everything. That's what makes us so special.
Right.
But if you don't know how to manage that, you're going to say, oh, they need medication, or they need this, because it doesn't conform to their white standards.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I applaud you big time for advocating for yours.
Right. And even now, right? And I even had to take that when he graduated high school, right? Because I know that my son only works great when his back is up against the wall. That's the only time he works. Right? So I know with him, I could not put him in like a regular 4-year college. Like because I couldn't trust him to get up in the morning and go to class if I wasn't around. Like he's not that kid. Right. So,
and that's okay. And that's okay.
So, but Southern New Hampshire University, who I shout out all the time, has this great course for kids like him. It's a program called Duet under Southern New Hampshire University, and it's an online program. He can get his associates, he can get his bachelor's and his master's. He can keep going, but he works in tandem with a coach, right? So his coach logs in to make sure that he's doing his work, right? He can go on Milk Street. They have the student center. Well, it's not really open now, but that's where they go. All the laptops, free food, and they meet their coaches there and will help them through the program. And it's not like A, B, C. It's like to get an associate's, you have to master 60 projects. So it's you going back and forth, you know, trying to master each project. It's not that easy. You got to send to the professor. The professor has to say, you know, it's not ready yet. It's not mastered. They send it back, you know, depending on what your degree is, that's how your projects are set up. And that's what gets him there. I mean, he's 4 projects away from his associates, but he seemed to have slowed down because of the pandemic, right? Because he can't go to the student center, but they go in their own time. So it's not like he has to finish in a certain amount of time. They go at their own pace. So whenever he gets those projects done, he will have that degree. And that works for a kid like him. And that's why I big it up so much, because there's so many kids like him. And we try to force our kids into the ideal of, you gotta go to this 4-year school. And then sometimes we waste a lot of money and get these loans, and these kids like don't go to class or they flunk out. So know your kids, people. Know your kids. Know your kids.
And side note, we definitely need more trade jobs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
In general, I mean, we live in a capitalist society, capitalist economy, so there's a lot of emphasis on sexy jobs. You know, jobs that make a lot of money really fast, whether you're famous or you're in a certain position. You know, we focus on sexy jobs. You know what people don't realize? Woodcrafts. You know, half the things in your house is made of wood. You know, and if you're good at your craft, you can make a lot of money from that. You get famous from that.
A lot of money.
And that's, and all that is chopping up wood. You can go to school for it. You don't even need to go to college. There's trade school. You know, if we can, and that might be quote unquote a dying trade, if you will, just because of the way technology and society.
No.
They're creating stairs and everything else.
Everything. They're artists. They're artists. I mean,
well, no, but see, so then that enhances. So that's good then. So we can say, hey, you know, look at a trade. You know, I mean, shit, plumbing. You know, if we can give more emphasis to these jobs that, you know, electrician, HVAC, you know, these are the trades that, you know, you're not going to be in the spotlight, you know, but you have
they're making crazy money.
And that's the thing.
I'm making six. I got 4 friends who are making 6 figures. They got 2 houses, and they plumbers and HVAC and they're electricians. And they can, when my electricity went off in my house and I called my boy, I just wanted my lights on. He goes, if he wasn't my friend, he probably would have charged me $500 for 2 seconds of work. But, I mean, people, the value of that's incredible. It's incredible. Good point. It's incredible.
It is. They single?
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
What, the electrician or the plumber?
Oh.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's
anyway.
Usual suspects are off there's so many comments here, it's not even funny.
I know.
Guys.
You didn't
it's
man.
9 o'clock.
It is 9 o'clock. Thank you. I'm glad our viewers know, you know, it's 9 o'clock. But no, that's awesome. They're gonna have to wrap the show up. Couple quick headlines before we wrap the show up. But Miss Knowledge had talked about it early and used one of his quotes. But for everybody who didn't know, a great person, great leader, fought hard for our rights, mainly voting. John Lewis did pass away. So if we can just have a quick couple moments of silence in remembrance.
A few more too. I think Leonard there was a few more people that passed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mimi Jones was a serious legend here in Boston and Florida. Integrated pool, Black folks, because we weren't allowed to get in the same pool with white people. And also C.T. Vivian, who was a confidant of Martin Luther King and John Lewis and others in that struggle. He's on the steps of Selma, Alabama, getting hit over the head by a club by Bull Connor. C.T. Vivian was an amazing man, like John Lewis.
Who's Will Connor?
Bull Connor was this racist cop. There's a picture of him on the courthouse steps, Selma, Alabama, hitting a black man over the head who was a minister, and that was C.T. Vivian. Amazing brother, and did some amazing work with Martin and with John Lewis. He was very, very close with Martin, one of his personal confidants. But just an amazing man. And he had a lot of Boston roots too. He was in Boston quite a bit in the past 7, 8 years, living in Atlanta. But again, one of those greats who are no longer here. You look around to your left and to your right, and you're saying, "Where are our greats? We're the ones coming up behind them." So, giving them a moment of silence is.
Yes.
Mm.
Man.
Yeah. He did great things. He paved the way for. I'm referring to Brother John Lewis. Paved the way for, for us to even be here. For us to be building this platform, to even be saying, "Hey, register to vote," and not having to worry about, them having dogs come and attack us, or having to jump through hoops, this, that, and the third.
Right.
He made it. He paved that way, and he is one of many, that fought the good fight. So we definitely, big shout out to him. Condolences to his family. Is big shout out to the family, and they can pull together and get through this awful time. But he was a great person. He ain't back down. He ain't take nothing from nobody, and he got into it with Trump a couple times. Didn't back down. So big shout out to him. Also, in general, it's never good when a person passes away. But Herman Cain passed away today as well. He was a Republican. I didn't agree on any of his views. He was a presidential candidate, ran on the 999 deal or platform, where it was like state taxes, income taxes, all this was like 9% or something like that. Again, I didn't agree with any of his policies, but he did pass away today of coronavirus. Unfortunately, it's sad because he was one of the ones that was saying coronavirus was a hoax. He didn't think it was real. And unfortunately, he did contract it and passed away from it today. So it's unfortunate, but you know, condolences to the Kane family. You know, I hope they get through this.
Yeah, wear a mask.
As well.
Wear a mask. I said wear a mask.
Yeah, wear a mask. Wear a mask. Wear a mask. Also, the stimulus package, they're talking about that. Let's pray that they come together and figure something out and pass this stimulus package. We need the money. All right. Again, it's $1,200. You know, I mean, it'll help. You know, with some things. You know, grateful. $1,200. Thank you.
People need to pay their bills. They need to pass something where people aren't getting evicted, where
Yes,
they pay their mortgages. Like it's
they're not going to extend the unemployment package or benefits that they were getting. They unfortunately expire tomorrow. They're looking at, it's going to be a $400 reduction. So you'll, instead of the $600, it'll only be an additional $200. Yeah, our economy is in shit. I'm sorry. Our economy is in shit. And these people in Congress and in the White House don't care for the average person. They're only caring about the billionaires and corporations. We got to get them out. Register to vote. Vote this guy out of office and all his cronies, so we can get a change, something. And I have a question. The question is, who's winning in all of this? You know, there's a lot of different voices going on saying, you know, the economy is great, you know, coronavirus is a hoax, and we all need to go back to school. Unfortunately, that's not the case for any of those. Our economy's in shit. Coronavirus is rampant. People are dying, unfortunately, as I just stated, with Herman Cain, and he was, you know, a congressman, you know, and this disease is affecting everybody. It doesn't care how rich you are, how poor you are. Who's winning in all of this? If all this stuff is fake, who's coming out? Who's hitting the big bucks? You know, I just want to know. That's just a question. Put it out there. That's all I got for headlines. Are there anything you want to say, Frosty Blake, before we go? Any shout outs? Anything you want to let the people know?
Get out, register to vote, understand how it works, love your neighbor, your friend, continue to do what you do and do it at the best ability of yours. And tell a brother, lift a brother up. And I'm not discounting sisters, but lift a brother up. We're going through a lot of trauma in our lives. And sometimes people take our response in a negative way, thinking that we're angry or we're doing things, but we're trying to manage in a world that hates us. So love us. With all our
right. That's what it is. Miss Knowledge, anything you want to say?
Yo, say some prayers for Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh yes.
Yeah, say some. We gotta keep her. You know, she was her cancer had come back.
Oh man.
Yeah, but she
had pancreatic cancer or something, or I don't know. It was something.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one, but it came back. I know she had some type of procedure, I think yesterday or today, and they said she's doing well in the hospital, but you know.
Yeah.
We
can't give this guy another
days. Wow, she's God bless that woman.
Yeah.
God bless her. She had wanted to retire a little bit ago, and she knows that her duty is to stay right there. So,
because if he gets another pick,
yeah,
literally, it's curtains, because you know he's going to pick a conservative, and they've been
Roe v. Wade. That's a done deal.
everything, abortion gone. You know, what is it? Roe v. Wade.
Roe v. Wade.
Roe v. Wade gone. Social Security gone. Like all these. Oh man.
Yeah.
Please stay. We need you.
Prayers to RBG. But
we need you. And I
job.
wonder, you know, this is a side note. I wonder who Biden would pick for justice. Because I have a feeling.
Good question though. Let's go. Wait, Leonard, who do you think he's gonna pick for vice president? Let's go there before we leave.
Well, I don't know. I wish it was my girl from Atlanta, but that's not gonna happen.
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
I love Stacey too. Like that is my heart.
She's too strong. She's too strong.
But
she will speak her mind too openly and frequently.
I know she was up there. I mean, I think it's gonna be Harris.
Yeah, she's safe.
Yeah, she is. And I think that, you know, he probably looked at Rice, but, you know, Rice doesn't bring any fire. She's smart. And that
talking about Susan?
Yeah, that foreign policy would be on point, but I don't think she's going to bring what they need, you know. Biden needs someone to bring, unfortunately, you know, some people need motivation. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's who I'm thinking. That's who I'm thinking his VP pick is.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with all of that. So Abrams, Rice.
I'll take anybody at this point in time. I'll take anybody.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
right? As long as Biden stays quiet and in his basement.
He's out there. He's been out there.
No, but yeah, he's been out there. As long as he keeps doing what he's doing.
He's been out there.
You know, again, get out there and register to vote. And if you are registered, please show up at the polls, make your voice heard, get these evil, corrupt people out of office ASAP, please.
Yes. And they're giving you thumbs up, Leonard. They loved your stories. They love you. So thank you.
The usual suspects are calling you the B guy.
Yeah, you're in the chat. They're giving you.
I like the honey man. Call me the honey man.
Whoa, I like that.
Oh boy. Don't start. That'll take us to a whole new area. Oh man. Oh man.
I didn't go there. This show's been long. I'm good. We good. Great show.
Well, thank you all. I appreciate it. Got to run, but I appreciate it anytime. Please. I would love to come back anytime.
Thank you. Everybody out there, thank y'all for showing up. The comment section, the usual suspects. I love y'all. Like always, please like, share, subscribe. The 34% out there who isn't subscribed, you know who you are. Please, it would mean so much to me for y'all to hit that subscribe button, along with the notification bell that says all, so you can get notified the moment we go live. Again, there's more new content coming. We'll finally be able to get the Lukey podcast. You'll be able to see some dope interviews with talented artists from Boston, rappers, couple producers, some poets. It's a dope season, so please stay tuned for that. And the only way you'll know is if you hit that subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe. Thank you guys. Nubia, DA, Mary, Keiko, Michelle, John, Edgar. Did I say Nubia? Everybody. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yes. Y'all, I love y'all, man. Y'all dope. We finally got a logo.
John,
for the usual suspects.
Yeah.
We got it for y'all. We're definitely gonna be putting that on some t-shirts. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, man, we got some stuff for y'all. We got some dope stuff coming.
Surprises.
Some prizes, merch, to show our appreciation for y'all subscribing, staying down with us for so long, and just showing us support.
Yeah.
So we got that stuff coming. Just give us a little bit so that we can get them on the shirts, print it up, mail to us. But thank you all.
Yes.
You know, from myself, from Miss Knowledge, from Oreo, from everybody at Channel 323, everybody, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for watching the show. It means so much. We got some great stuff coming in store moving forward. So stay tuned, y'all. And again, thank you. That being said, I'm out. Thank y'all. All the stuff will be in the description a little bit later on. Y'all need to check that. Have a great rest of
honey. Get some of that honey from the honey man.
Yes. Get the honey man, all that, you know what I'm saying? But have a good night, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.